Welcome back, friends. It's good to see you. This week, we are going to be talking about Jesus and who he is. So let's go ahead and look at our passage for the day. Our passage is Matthew 16, 13 through 20. Feel free to read along with me. And the title of this passage is Peter Declares That Jesus is the Messiah. When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do you say the Son of Man is?" They replied, "Some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." "But what about you?" he asked. "Who do you say I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by the flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Then he ordered his disciples not to tell anyone that he was the Messiah. So in this passage, Jesus is almost kind of quizzing his disciples, asking them, "Who do you think I am?" And they come up with three different answers. One of them says that he is John the Baptist. Some of you guys may have heard stories about John the Baptist. He was a relative of Jesus. In this picture, we have John the Baptist baptizing Jesus. If you guys remember, then God sent down a dove and said, "This is my son who I'm well pleased." Others yet said that he was Elijah, who was another prophet, and he was known for a story about how God provided. In this picture, you can see he has crows bringing him food. And yet, some said that he was Jeremiah the prophet, which is known as the weeping prophet. And I would love to go into the background stories of all these prophets, but we just don't have that much time, so we'll have to do that some other time. But yeah, they all had these different ideas of who Jesus was. And yet, Peter was the one who said that he was the Son of the living God, the Messiah, the Son of the living God. And we know this to be true, as if we go all the way back to the Christmas story, we follow Jesus from an infant and as he grows up and as he starts into his ministry. And when Peter says this, God praises Peter and blesses him and calls him a rock, saying that he's going to build his church upon Peter. Let's go ahead and do a little game just to get more into this lesson. Okay, I want you to go ahead and look at these images. I have 6 images on the screen. They're all parts of something. Go ahead and take a minute or two, pause the video, talk with your siblings or your parents, and try to guess what these images are of. Go ahead. Great. Did you come up with a list of things of what these might be? Well, I'll go ahead and tell you. So this first picture we have right here, that is a picture of a fork. That is the prongs of a fork that we eat with. The second one, that's actually a picture of a leaf. It's a zoomed in picture. Then we have another zoomed in picture of a basketball. Those are kind of all the little bumps on the base of the basketball. Down here, it looks like it could be a couple of different things, but this is actually blinds, like you put in your window that you can open and close to let the light in or out. Then down here, this one's maybe a little bit easy. This is a pair of glasses. And then our last picture, this bright, brilliant blue, that is actually a fish. So now you may be wondering, why are you showing us a bunch of these random pictures, partial pictures of things? Well, today we're talking about Jesus and who he is. And, his disciples had been following him for a while. They were learning all about him. And when he asked them who he was, they all had these different ideas. And so many people throughout Jesus' ministry speculated of who this guy was. Was he the Messiah? Was he not the Messiah? They all had their own ideas. But he was one thing. And like these pictures, we only see part of it. And that's kind of what they were seeing. They were only seeing parts of it. They saw him doing miracles, healing people. and they only saw a little part of the picture. They weren't getting the whole entire picture. And that's kind of like us too. You know, we're still learning. We're on our journey of our relationship with God, and it's growing. So sometimes it may seem like we only have a little bit of a part of the picture of who Jesus was and who Jesus is. But that's the great thing. Once we get more of that picture, then we can start to fully understand who Jesus is. I have an activity for you guys that you guys can do at home. Earlier I mentioned that Jesus said that Peter was a rock that he was going to build, his church off of. So either today or sometime later this week, go ahead and go out and see if you can find a nice medium-sized rock, one with kind of a flat surface on it. And I want you to be creative with this. Like we said, today's theme, who is Jesus? Who do you say I am? Who do we say Jesus is? Who is he to us? With that rock that you guys find, with your nice smooth surface, I want you to either paint it on, scratch it on, anything that would stick, and write one word of who Jesus or who God is to you. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you next week. And if you want to share with me the pictures of your rocks, you guys can go ahead and email that to me or share it on the Eastside Facebook page. I'll see you guys later. Bye.